Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. Yes, we got a great one. One of our friends from the West is joining us for I think it's at least a three-peat.
Let me.
Yeah, and that's not like any shade or copying. It's like no, we want to. He's got more to talk about. I want to hear what's going on. Guest, who are you?
What's up, everybody? This is my third time back, and I am Chris Vincent with R2R Electric.
Chris Vincent, as I think we mentioned on the very first show, that's a pretty rad rock and roll name. Like
I always hated it. For some reason, I thought it was so dorky, but the older I get, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I got three first names.
Oh, what's your middle?
Charles. So Christopher Charles Vincent.
Christopher Charles Vincent. Now
you sound like an author.
An author or the son of an oligarch.
It loses its flair when you put the middle name in there.
Yeah, it's a different kind of flair. It's a different kind of flair.
Yeah.
It's the unobtainium posh flair. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. So it all makes sense.
Yes. You need a carnation stuck in your T-shirt. Okay.
Oh boy.
We are going to have a great time. Oh, I forgot we were talking. We're doing a thing here. Hey, everybody. We're glad that you're listening. We have an opportunity right now to put some positivity out into the world, which desperately needs it, and we are going to assume that charge right now, aren't we, Tony?
Yes,
Tony, pay attention to me.
What do we do here, Todd?
Well, why don't you tell them? That's what I pay you for.
Is that my bailiwick?
Yes.
My bailiwick says, on the Guitar Knobs podcast, we love to talk to the people that make really cool stuff.
Yes.
And that's stuff like pedals and guitars and amps and write books and influence people on the internets and all the cool stuff. And we get
people who make unique things.
Yes, boutique builders, if you will.
Indeed.
And we get the story behind the story.
Just like our guest, Chris, tonight from R2R. And where can people see the things that you do, Chris?
Mainly on my Instagram, which is at DJ Lavalamp. I rarely update my website. I was just looking at it the other day. I think the last time I updated was like 2022. So I got to get on that. There is information there, but mainly keep up with me on my Instagram.
Sounds good. I think that's kind of the case for most people. They make their website's got to be the biggest. You put so much energy and thought and time, and then you put it up, and then and it just sits there, and then you
got to do more with it.
Right.
And every year you got to update. Well, you should be doing it more than once a year too. But yeah, it's tough. Being a one man operation. I think, which a lot of us are smaller builders.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd. Earlier you were asking how many times Chris has been with us.
Yes.
This is indeed his third time.
And
there must be something magical about the month of February.
Why?
Because the first time Chris was on was episode number 209 from February of 2021.
Wow.
The next time was episode number 304 from February 2023.
Ooh.
So here we are, February 2026.
Well, I say we just turn this into an annual doing. We are.
Well,
maybe not an annual.
Not annual, but every couple of annuals.
Like, I have things to do, guys. I don't need to do this all the time.
I need to update my website sometime.
Yeah. Well, Chris is, if you're not familiar, I wasn't addressing you, Chris. I was about to tell her, but if people out there are not familiar with R2R, Chris, can you give them just the 2-floor elevator ride of what you do, and then we'll get into some of that a little bit later?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say best description is I build small batch treble boosters and fuzz pedals from the 1960s out of parts from the 1960s. So that's my biggest thing is just old circuits made out of old parts.
Yes. And let's just say Chris may not say it, but he's a pretty big deal, everybody. So,
and he makes old parts sound like new.
He makes old parts sound like new.
I sure try.
Yeah. But I think there's obviously more to that. We'll touch a little bit on that. We don't want to retread too much covered ground already, but I think there's a few things to mention. So anyways, we're going to move forward here. And let's start with, Tony, do we have announcements for you?
I do not have announcements, but I am getting some more information on that Christie's auction.
Oh.
So as soon as that...
we've been all waiting here with bated
I
breath.
know, but it's going to be it's going to be crazy good.
Yeah.
But nothing I can afford, I don't think.
Yes. I have a little bit. We will be announcing. So recently, we did a poll out to our patrons on Patreon, our executive producers and Grand Poobah class level. We are going to be doing a live build on video, nonetheless, with our friend across the shores.
Hello, sailor.
That's right. Joe's going to be hooking us all up together. He sent us a couple kits, and we've gotten information back from, I think, all that care about it are there on the list, and we're going to be pulling those lucky people, and we'll be announcing that next episode. Okay? Very, very exciting. I'm very excited for that. It's going to be a really fun time.
I agree.
And we have some other things that we're cooking up as we're going into our 10th year. We're trying to come up with some good stuff for everybody, some big payback kind of things for our supporters who have kept the show going.
Yes.
Because we can't do it without you. Beyond that, and so more announcements to come later on that, we're hatching a few plans. We'll just say that. Also, we need to find out what's going on in our music world. But you know what? By the way, Chris, I failed to mention when we were hanging out at Woodwire and Volt, but Joe, when I was visiting him, he was just gushing. He just had so much good stuff to say about you, which didn't seem, odd to me, having, talked to you several times now. But it's just sometimes it's nice to know that other people are, saying the good word for you. So thanks, Joe.
Absolutely. Oh, he's the best. Joe, you're the best.
And he does listen, so that's kind of nice too. What's going on in our music world, Tony?
Yes, Todd?
Say the thing, and then we're going to ask Chris to say his things.
Okay. Well, this week, I've been perusing my latest book acquisition called Thunder Out of Texas, The Illustrated History of Robin Guitars by Willie Mosley. Willie hits another home run with this one.
Robin Guitars.
You never heard of Robin Guitars?
It sounds familiar, but I can't place shapes.
So Robin Guitars was started in 1982. I owned a Robin Ranger, which is probably their most recognizable model. The Ranger was basically, do you remember the Squire 51s that came out back in the one? So the Robin Rangers were the original one where they basically took kind of a Stratish body and put that old, the big pick guard.
Yeah, the front-loaded pick guard thing.
Well,
right?
it looks like it made it look like a 50s precision bass.
Yeah.
With that big guard over both things. But they made some really cool guitars, and it's a really interesting history. They kind of did the opposite of what most companies were doing.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was started in 1982 by Dave Wentz and Bart Whitrock. They originally had a guitar shop in Houston called Rockin' Robin Guitars.
Of course.
And then they spun this off. And interestingly, they started getting guitars from from Tokai in Japan,
Uh-huh.
and they were having them made over there and bringing
Yeah, they're
them
really
in.
hip to the banana.
Yeah, that
banana
was
has the
well,
old
that
Kramer
was
kind
one
of
of the things
vibe.
that they were told they could not do was to duplicate the Fender headstock, because at that time it was a big no-no. It still is kind of a
So they
no-no.
moved on to Charvel and Jackson.
So they put the banana headstock on it, and apparently they were one of the earliest. Well, yeah, that was one model that they did towards. But interestingly, so they started having all these things made in.
Right.
And well, that was in the next phase, yes. But they started having things made overseas, and then eventually started production in the United States. I mean, it's a really interesting book to kind of go through. One of the things I picked up that I didn't know is both these guys started All Parts in Houston.
Ew.
They originated because they were trying to buy parts for their guitars for building and such. And a couple of years after that, they sold it to another person who I don't know if they still own All Parts or not today, but it's really cool. I mean, great photography.
They got the really wide sort of like offset Dean headstock.
Well, they did a 4.2 headstock that was like
Yeah.
on the Machete and a couple of other models. It was kind of unusual, but cool guitars. Like I said, the one that I owned, I thought was really good. Most of the things that they made, and I don't know that I've ever had one of the I never played one of the American-made ones, but it's quite interesting.
Interesting.
And apparently the brand kind of went defunct a while back, and apparently there's a group that is trying to resurrect the brands or the models from the Robin brand. I think they started in like 2023. So who knows what's going to happen in the next few years? But cool book nonetheless.
Good news for lawyers.
Yeah, there you go. So Willie Mosley, he had another wonderful book that he put together, and lots of great research on it too. It was well done.
Interesting. Chris,
Yo.
what's going on in your music world this week?
Oh man, I been listening to a lot of the new Ella Feingold album, the "Tell a Beautiful Lie with Sound." I really
Ella
like everything that she does.
Okay.
So she has this like doctorate in old funk guitar players. Like she just knows absolutely everything about like Johnny Guitar Watson and Wah Wah Watson and every the guy. I don't know him either. They're like, it's obscure to me because I'm more of a rock guy, but like all the old guys that played with James Brown and like that whole crew, like
Right.
she can play and knows like the techniques just like the back of her hand. But she's also she put out an album with Charlie Hunter a little earlier this year, which was really cool. Just a lot of instrumental guitar stuff that's not just like, it's not shreddy. It's not, a bunch of leads and stuff like that. It's just really well put together guitar music that's instrumental that I really like.
But anyways,
So yeah, that kind of stuff.
yes, that's cool, man. Super fun. I might have to give that some listening.
It's worth a listen for sure.
Yeah. All right. Now you are, I assume you're like a vinyl cat, right?
You know what? I have purposely stayed away from that because I'm terrified of falling down that rabbit hole.
That's yes. Well, if it's anything like what you've done with old pedals, then you're probably your wisdom is winning out there. Yes.
I can't start building old record players and hi-fis.
And next thing you'll be pressing your own vinyl.
Yes.
I need to buy this record plant.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's
That is
empty.
exactly what would happen.
Yep.
So yeah, no vinyl. I mean, I love it. Whenever I get the chance to like sit and listen to it on a good system, it's a treat. But I do not have that at home.
Yeah. Well, you're smarter than most. So no, it's obviously a fun hobby and it's a good way to pay yourself back.
Right.
So
What about you,
Tony,
Todd?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We this week the weekend we went to the Ohio guitar show.
Oh, yes. How was that? I was out of town.
How can I explain? How can I say this? It was like navigating a Hummer down an alley full of trash bins.
Are you saying there wasn't a lot of room to get around?
I'm saying that, yes. I'm just going to leave that analogy out there on the table, and y'all can make whatever you want out of that.
Well, does that imply there were a lot of people there?
There were a lot of people.
Okay. Were there a lot of dealers there?
There were a fair amount. I think they had to turn away quite a few because the venue was a lot smaller this year. It was extremely congested. It was terrible parking. It was raining.
Were the Shriners there?
There was no Shriners there. And it kind of killed the mood. I got to be honest. Like,
by not having the
I
Shriners?
did not want to peruse. You couldn't peruse.
Because it was too tight.
It was
you couldn't breathe.
soup to nuts in there, man. I don't know how else to say that, but there's probably a few other ways.
Tough.
Anyway, so it was kind of a bust, but we got to hang out, and it was me and Chase Gullett went there with us.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then we went and got some. We said, "Hey, let's go get some food. But let's bail on this and go get some food." And he's like, "Man, I want some pho." And I was like, "I was not expecting you to say that, but."
Oh yes,
Yeah.
his trip to California was very eye opening.
Yeah,
for him,
so
wasn't it?
we all got some pho.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Yeah, and his new shop assistant went with us, and he had never had it.
Oh,
So that was the first time having pho, and he loved it.
a lot of
That
firsts
was
this
great.
year.
But the whole point to that was to say the next day we were having dinner, and it's a great dinner, and my kid said, "I'm going to take care of the dishes," and I'm like, "Cool, I'm going to go play guitar." So I went downstairs, and I had nothing in mind, no idea, no anything. And I said, "You know what? I've been writing on the guitars that I typically use, for my band." And I said,
So you pulled out the acoustic.
no, no, but I grabbed my Gullet Custom,
Ah,
and I hadn't played that in a little while, and it's such an awesome feeling when you go down and it's like, I don't know what is going to happen. You plug it in, and I was down there for an hour.
this
At
is
least.
Vinny.
I just was going, yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I did, I put together a wonderful audio technology stack.
What?
Yes. So I had two of his pedals up there, and it was great, man. Fuzzlands and ranges.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So the bigger question is,
Yeah.
were the dishes clean?
the dishes were clean. Yes.
Okay.
By the time I got done, they were very clean. Yes. And it was just,
All right.
it's great. Sometimes it just feels good to just, I don't have an agenda. I just want to play.
Yeah.
And when your fingers sort of say, "Hey, you had a hard day. Let me just take over." That's a great feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a feeling.
What a feeling. Anyways, it's a good thing that I was able to get those pedals all stitched together.
How'd you do that?
Well, I did it with the Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
I should have known.
I can only rely on those. So grabbed a couple, put that little board together, and I was like, wee, we're off to the races.
Nice.
And had the GP5 at the end, the Valiton GP5. So through very easily through a couple of the things that I was working on my phone.
Yeah.
I flip and love that little thing. But
So I hear.
more importantly, I didn't have to worry about, begging or borrowing from other things that I have stitched together. I just grab my patch cables.
Because you got
and
a
went.
supply of
I
Tour
got a
Gear Design
supply,
patch
and,
cables.
and it's easy to do that.
How did you get a supply
I
of
went
these?
to Tour Gear Designs, and I just loaded up my card. I got a whole bunch of different links.
Is that tourgeardesigns.com?
Well, yes, it's a website. So,
Oh.
yes, and a couple of different sizes, a bunch of different orientations. Got the S cables and the C
Cs.
shapes. And if you are intrigued at this point, which you should be, because you should have.
I'm hanging on every word.
I know. You should have a pile of these. Go to tourgeardesigns.com, get them all in your cart, hit purchase. Then you're going to get the coupon code.
Oh.
Or the place to put in the coupon code.
Yes.
Do you know what the coupon code is, Tony?
I sure do.
Why don't you tell them?
It's called The Guitar Knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
And you're going to save how much?
15%.
That is correct. And we're going to ride that wave until we can't anymore.
Yes.
So please make your way over there and get yourself some. And thank you to Tour Gear for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
All right, Chris from R2R Electric. What is your third floor on the floor?
That's easy for you to
Yeah,
say.
I know.
Yeah. All right. I really thought about this actually this time. I gave it some thought because I know the first 2 times I didn't. I just winged it. But this time,
I believe the past tense is
I
wung. But anyways.
yeah, I won them. I've got to start with my friend Dave over at Non-Human Audio. His Slow Loris is so much fun. It is the coolest pedal. Every time I plug into that thing and just like a new riff comes out of it. Like it's just a riff writing machine. So that's 100% number one. I've been obsessed with that thing since I got it almost a year ago, and it's permanent fixture on my pedal board. Every time I plug it in, there's something fun comes out. So
Awesome.
100% that's got to be on there.
Also, before you get to number 2, I want to mention, for those that may not have seen this, I absolutely love pulling up Instagram and seeing the little, you're like, hey, I'm going to do a little ditty right now. Videos. Those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I never know. I
They
feel
are,
like they suck.
honestly, because you get great sound, and every time I'm like, what's he recording that on? What amp is that coming out of? Blah 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 blah. No, it sounds great because we know you build all this stuff, but you also have some righteous guitars, and your stuff sounds awesome. So it's a win.
I love it. I love to hear that. It's good feedback because I'm always very critical of myself, and to be honest, all of the videos I post is just my iPhone. I just set the iPhone down and go. My main little recording setup is 2 little Benson, a Vinny reverb and a Nathan Jr. And I just run those in an AB. So I just run them both at the same time and then plug stuff in the front end of them. And it's the Bensons. I mean the guitars also, I've got some pretty nice guitars, so that helps too. But yeah, the Bensons, they do the heavy lifting. They're not too loud, so it doesn't blow out the iPhone mic. So I can get pretty good sounds. I've built up a really nice rack here at my desk and have some microphones that, I should be using, but I feel like the iPhone's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually I'm going to try to move into a little bit more professional demo setup, but when it's just that easy, because I'm usually doing that in between, like building or something like that. I'll realize like, oh crap, I haven't posted in a week. I should do something real quick. So I'll just literally plug in what I'm working on, throw a camera on it, and the first thing I play is usually what makes it up there. I don't usually have time to do multiple takes. So there's a lot of flubs and things like that in there, but I don't care. It's, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to show you what it sounds like. And I'm no longer a professional player, so I can flub all I want.
Don't let your self-criticism leave you reticent. Okay. Number 2.
Number 2 is an old pedal that I got recently, and it's definitely way up high on the list of unobtainium, but it's a 1966 Marshall Super Fuzz.
Yes.
And the very first year they did them in 66, it was actually a different circuit that was based on the Mark I tone bender. They're extremely rare. There's I think maybe 10 or 13 of them that are accounted for in the world.
Whoa.
At this point in time, I got very lucky to be able to get one. It was one of those kind of I really shouldn't do it, but when am I going to get the opportunity again? So I found a way to make it work. And so I've got that guy. I've been cloning it, which is a lot of fun. My friend Mike over at Seeker Effects makes a fantastic Mark I Super Fuzz. There's a lot of guys out there who make great versions of the circuit that are not quite as expensive as the one that I make. I do my very best to clone it like part for part to my original one, which just cost a heck of a lot of money, even for me to get the parts and then to try to turn around and sell it. They get very expensive. So there's a lot of great builders making affordable versions. Highly recommend if you can find somebody making one that's, not $1 million. It's worth a shot because it's a very unique fuzz. There's not much else that does what those Marshalls do.
All right. Well, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but there's some lore out there that the original enclosures were actually the bricks that they would put into a giant stamping machine, and out would come a Triumph convertible. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't know. I know the very early Super Fuzz, those were based on or an exact enclosure for an Italian sewing machine pedal.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
they're called an Olivetti enclosure is kind of what they're colloquially known as.
yes.
Because the Olivetti sewing machine pedals was basically either it was a design of or they just ripped it off 100%. I'm not sure exactly on that one, but I know it's based on these old sewing machines.
That's cool. That's cool. Tony
It's
didn't
really
like
funny
my
how
little
all these
joke,
old
by the
ones-
way. He hated it.
No.
He gave me real...
I gave you the stink
he
eye.
didn't blink for a minute after I said that. I know. Where's
You
the...
got to give them something.
Jiminy Christmas. Tough crowd. Okay, number 3.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. This is a new one from a friend of mine who actually is here in Hollywood. His company's called R2R Electric. His name's Brandon, but he just finally nailed the Spirit in the Sky fuzz tone. Like, I have never heard somebody actually get a pedal to sound like like that thing, because it was this weird proprietary thing that I think the guitar player from that band built himself. And it was an onboard like fuzz that he like homebrewed. But yeah, that Spirit in the Sky, like kind of weird octave clangy fuzz thing. He absolutely nailed it. I just picked up one of those from his like first run of them, and I'm super impressed.
Let me... Electric. I feel like I have... Yes. I did send him a note, and I have not heard back yet. Give him a nudge, will you?
I will do, for sure. He'd be a great one.
Yeah. Based on
He
what
makes
I
very
saw
cool stuff.
when I immediately just started typing, I'm like, come on the show, please.
Yeah. I'll talk to him.
Yeah. Throw your weight around, man.
I don't know how much of that I got, but I'll do my best.
Man, that is a pretty stacked 4 there. That's pretty cool. Except that's not 4. So give us your last one.
We're on number 4. My last one I couldn't decide. It's the new Death by Audio. I got both the Infinity Verb and the Delay. Oh shoot, I don't remember what it's called now, but I wrote Infinity Verb because that one's my favorite. But it's one of those infinite delay or infinite reverb kind of like huge, expansive things that they just sound really, really heavenly. You can't like hit a bad note with them. I feel like you can hit any note and it just carries it on into infinity and it just sounds so cool. So I've been playing the crap out of that thing almost every day.
Nice. Is it the? Let's try it. Let's do. What's it called? Whack-a-mole. Echo Dream. Rooms. Reverberation.
It's their brand
Dream
new
Station.
one. Dream Station. That's the
That's
one.
it.
All right.
Nailed it. Yeah, Dreams. That's also a really, really fun sounding one. It's got it's a delay and a reverb in one,
Cool.
which is super cool. It's more of a normal reverb, and the delay is just really usable. I like them.
Wow.
I like that. And then the Infinity Verb's just nuts.
You're selling it, man. I like it. It's a lot of their stuff is, it makes a lot of racket. But I like the idea of something with a little more control to it.
Yeah, they definitely are a little bit more control. I've never actually, these are my first Death by Audio pedals I've ever had. I absolutely love everything they do. I've just, for some reason, never got one of their pedals. But when these came out, I was like, oh, sold. I'll buy them right now.
Nice. Well, we got a lot to talk about. You and I briefly just kind of chatted about, like, hey, so what do we want to talk about? So we do have a semi-agenda here. And I guess just starting off, we got to meet up again at Woodwire and Volts. And Tony and I have talked about that. We did a whole follow-up episode on them and Woodwire and Volts.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to hear your perspective from the other side of the table.
I will be back again next year. We'll say that for sure. It was, I was one of the very few pedal companies the first year. And then this year there was a heck of a lot more of us. The whole outside was basically all pedal companies. And that was a lot of fun being able to see, more pedals represented and just having buddies around. Like I have friends that were, in the main room, like Adam over at Satellite Amps and over at Bruce Guitars, and Abernethy Guitars was there, which was really cool to see him. We had talked, but I'd never met him in person. So that's always my favorite thing about, the NAMM season is everybody comes to town. Since I'm local to it, it's kind of fun that everybody comes here and I can see all my friends that I, get to talk to all year long, but rarely get to see because, we're spread out all over the place.
Sure.
So that was, as far as that's, kind of the every year thing, but Woodwire Volts specifically, I just really like the kind of curated group of people that they put together. Like everybody that's been invited to that is just a really, on top of being really talented and making some really exciting stuff, they're just great people. Like there's nobody in that room that I don't want to be around. You know what I mean? Like you go to NAMM, you're like, oh God, that guy's here. Nobody like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just, everybody there is super cool, fun to hang out with. And it's just a really good vibe. And the fact that it's not blowing your head off the whole time is just kind of the icing on the cake, that you can sit around and enjoy the company of these people on top of the fact that you're around fun people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more. It is a place where you can actually have some great conversations, which can be tricky at NAMM. But it, like, just the idea, I mean, when we went the first time last year, I walked in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the people. This is like, almost everybody in here's been on the show. So I have an understanding of like, this is what caliber this is going to be, and the interest level and the unique goods. I think that's another thing that Curtis is really pushing to be one of the North Stars of that show, so that there are people making unique things. And I'm curious, like, did you especially the guitar kind of room, is there anything that particularly stuck out to you, or that you said, oh, okay, what do I got to do to get one of these?
I mean, almost all of them, to be honest. Like everybody there was just makes the coolest things, but there's a few guys that that weren't there last time that I really liked. Now his name is slipping my mind, but he makes some really cool, like vintage inspired stuff, kind of like vintage modified Telly Strat style guitars, but with, humbuckers or whatnot. Like, what is his name? Let me see if I can find him real quick.
There were three that come to mind. In that Retro Sound, Healy, and
Trevor's. I was really glad that he was there. Healy's absolutely one of my favorites.
He was on the show last week, actually.
Oh, nice! Oh, I have to go back and listen to that one. He's so great.
Yeah.
Retro Sound. I really like the Retro Sound stuff. I really like Bruce guitars. I've been obsessed with his. He makes. I forget the Jane, I think is what he calls it, but it's like a harmony. Oh my God, that thing is just gorgeous, and it sounds and plays incredible. Someday I'm going to find a way to get myself one of those, because that's one of the coolest modern guitars I think I've ever seen. Man, there's retro sound, and it's another guy who's very Heinz. That's yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Him, super cool stuff. I mean, on top of Castadosa, always amazing.
Yeah,
the Abernethy guitars are super cool.
Yeah.
Everybody in there, but those were definitely ones that kind of speak my language for sure.
Yeah.
Like those are all, if I had a way to afford them all, they'd all be here already.
Did you have a chance to try out the Grez baritone?
I didn't. I was so busy this year. I didn't hardly get a chance to see. And Barry, Grez Guitars too. There's another fantastic builder there.
Yeah.
All of his stuff just rocks. I got to play some of his guitars at Fretboard Summit a few years back. So I've had the chance in the past, but I didn't get to this time because I was kind of stuck to my booth. It was so busy.
Yeah.
Your helper wouldn't even let you go and get a drink of water?
I try to be good and not leave her by herself for too much. Like she knows way more than she has any business knowing. Like she soaks it all up. Unfortunately for her, because she doesn't care about this stuff, but she cares about me. So she's a trooper.
Nice. So I guess part of, an extension conversation of that is, when everybody gets together and everybody sees what's in the room, you can kind of get a vibe of like where people are pushing things, and then also everybody coming in with their own interpretation of where are we at with gear right now. What trends are we seeing? What is the quote unquote market telling us? I'd love to get your perspective on that. Now, with the caveat of you occupy a very, very specific niche of that realm.
Yes.
But I surely you have your fingers on pulses and maybe hearing some things. Is there anything in particular, let's just say for, I guess, the health of the market right now? What do you think about that?
It is very interesting. I do sit in a very niche part of the market, and that's kind of insulated, but at the same time, I feel it just as, I see the same trends that I'm hearing from my friends that are, out there in big and small companies. Everybody's feeling it a bit, having conversations from everybody from like the guys from Earthquaker or, and the trouble that they've been facing throughout the year. Along with other small builders that are either pivoting or shut. I know a few people who've just shut down completely.
Yeah.
Because and it's multiple things. It's not just any one thing. It's kind of a confluence of all of the things happening in the world at the same time are all just making it very difficult for small businesses. And especially in a market like our own, it's a luxury market. Like nobody needs a guitar pedal or a guitar to survive.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I mean, we do.
Everyone needs many guitars and many pedals.
For yourself.
I mean,
no, I understand.
I certainly
what
wouldn't survive without it. Yes. But when it comes down to, am I going to be able to buy? Am I going to be able to buy clothes for my kid, or this overdrive pedal clothes for the kid is going to happen first?
Yes.
And I think that's people are feeling that more and more these days. It was a really strange Christmas season. Like
That's
was so slow that I took my first month off that I've taken since I started the company. I was finishing up a batch of pedals and things were still listed, which had never happened before. And I was like, well, I can turn around and relist these things that are currently up, but why would I do, like, nobody's buying them right now. So why would I try to, make a big deal about the same things that are currently available? If, people wanted them, they'd be taking them. So I kind of took the decision, and I was, to take the month of December off, which usually is a very, very busy time for anybody in the retail industry. With Christmas coming up, that's that's, usually most companies' bread and butter. But, and I heard this, from quite a few other people, that the sales weren't there like they normally are. So people are definitely tightening their pockets and tightening their belts, not spending. I happen to sit in a little bit of a different area just because of the high end and expensive nature of the things that I do. Most of the people who can afford most of the things that I make aren't hurting as bad. So it's not as big of a deal for, people who've got money. Things are going great for if you got money right now.
Yeah.
It's the rest of us who, live paycheck to paycheck or some form of that, that are struggling a little bit more. And so I don't want to say cheaper, but my less expensive models haven't been selling as well, but my really expensive stuff has been doing as well as it ever has. So there's definitely something to be said about that. Like, I'm sure that, people like Gibson, Fender are probably seeing the same thing where like maybe Squier or Electromatic aren't doing as well, but the custom shop Gretsch and, custom shop Gibson stuff is probably, that's always going to stay pretty level because the people who can afford a $10,000 guitar, they've already got $10,000 sitting around. Like the rest of us who don't have $10,000 for a guitar, we're going to try to make sure that we've got everything else taken care of before we, go buy that $1,000 guitar. Like I've personally, there's been a few things lately that I'm like, oh, I really want that, but is it smart to spend that kind of money right now? And it's not a lot, but when you have to think twice about it probably means you probably shouldn't.
Right now. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
So it's that's probably a healthy, a somewhat healthy standpoint. But it's interesting because I think what you said, where hey, the things that I had up kind of aren't doing anything, but you didn't try to force it. It sounds like.
No, I don't want to, I don't do any kind of advertising or things like that. I kind of need a curated audience because of the way old pedals are. They're kind of quirky. They can be noisy. They don't like buffers going into here. You can't daisy chain them with power over here. Like there's a lot of things to it. So I kind of need an educated customer base for my things. So blanket advertising and trying to force people to buy something that they're not already familiar with doesn't work real. It ends up just being a lot of returns and a lot of unnecessary time trying to explain things that I just don't have the time to sit and do that. Like as much as I wish I could, like when I was starting out, it was, I loved doing that kind of thing where every single pedal I would talk the person through it. But it just, when you've got 550 followers, that's a heck of a lot easier than when you have almost, 18,000 or whatever I'm at now. It's just such a larger scale. It's hard for me to take the time and, give the personalized attention that I used to be able to. So I need people to kind of like come to me already informed, which I have great, guys who do demos who help with that. And I'm trying to do more videos to explain that kind of stuff. But I definitely don't like
speaking on behalf of you. That's for sure.
I'm very lucky in that regard. Like I'm fully aware that not everybody gets such a leg up like that, because if I had to spend all that time doing what, my fans do, and, people that I work with and collaborate with, if I had to do all that myself, it would be impossible to do anything else. Like there's just so many things to be done when you're running a small business. And it's also, everybody wants to be your gear buddy, and I get it. Like that's amazing. I wish I could be everybody's gear buddy, because I really do. At the end of all this, I love all this stuff, and that's why I do it. But it just gets really hard to do day in and day out, and try to also grow that informed fan base. So it's a weird area to navigate. And, I think also on top of that, things are just getting more expensive. Even, like I use mostly old parts, but they don't all come from the US. Most of it doesn't come from the US. So even, somebody who's using recycled parts and things like that, tariffs are still hitting us, and that's definitely been a big thing too with a lot of the guys, especially the people who are on the verge of shutting down or are considering it. It's kind of the double whammy of, well, I've lost a lot of sales, and on top of that, I have to start raising my prices. So I'm trying to convince people who already aren't buying to pay more for something they didn't want to buy at this price point.
Yeah.
And that gets real frustrating I think that's one of the big things that a lot of people, like Julie, went in front of Congress to talk about how damaging that was to them. Like it's really been a big problem for a lot of companies.
Well, and then the knee-jerk reaction to put your things on sale immediately is
right.
It's a killer. It really is. And every time I see somebody do that, or like, hey, I'm going to drop the prices on all my pedals now. And I mean, on one hand, you got to understand, well, okay, I got to move the needle, but
right.
Then you're at a devalued state. You can't go back up from that.
It's really tough to go back from that. Yeah, it's almost the opposite of the inflation that you see in everything else.
Right.
Once I feel like grocery stores, once they get $6 for a box of cereal when it used to be $5, that cereal will never be anything but $6 or more. And it's kind of the inverse when you just change your prices down. It's going to be really hard to get them back up. If it was $125, and then you brought it down to $100. When's the right time to bring it back up to 125 again? Because everybody who just paid 100 is going to feel slighted, that they, or the people who then have to pay 125 and didn't get it's really tough. And I think you're right that it's really tough to come back from that. There's just the optics of it alone, like, oh, well, that guy's struggling, so it must mean that they're not very good, and which is definitely not the case most of the time. It's just, it's a really tough industry. There's so many companies out there. Everybody's doing, a version of pedal X. Like, it's really hard to be very original.
Yeah.
And so,
well, that's where you kind of sit in a unique position comparatively, because I think a lot of stress on the other boutique builders are coming up with, hey, here's a new spin on here's my take on it. Here's my new pedal, and
right.
I mean, we love that, but that's an immense amount of pressure, because if it doesn't hit, or you didn't get this thing or that thing right, or market it right, or whatever, any number of things can cause crickets.
So many things.
Where you're in a nice position there, because you figured out a long time ago what your jam is, and it's not really that.
Yeah, I definitely lucked into, it wasn't by plan or anything. It was mostly just sheer ignorance of knowing how to design a circuit. So I changed very little about these pedals. And that was kind of the original purpose anyway. Like I wanted a range master for myself. And they were, $4,000 or whatever they cost. And it was a very simple circuit, and I just figured, like, well, if I can find these old parts and try to get as close as I can, that's gonna be close enough, I think. So that's really what led me down this path, and it worked in my favor that I don't know how to change stuff that much. I think it helps me a little bit, because I'm just like, well, if I can't make it my own thing, then I'm just going to make it the best possible version that I can make of the original thing. And so that's kind of, I think, how I built the brand, and just being the, I don't want to say the best, just the most me of any circuit that I can find. Like I want it to be as authentic as it possibly can be, while I definitely have a sound that I want out of each thing. And I think I've set the expecation with my customers that, like,
it's a high
they know
bar.
what they're going to get.
It's like it's one of the highest bars out there. I mean, anybody that has your pedals or knows what you do I would find it very difficult to believe that they wouldn't think that. But that doesn't just come from saying, well, I want to make it really good. One of the things I was alluding to at the beginning, one of the things I was alluding to at the beginning, and I remember seeing this on the inside of the one that I have, and on a couple of the other ones that you know you've let us play with. One of the things that maybe some people don't know is that you get a rundown of what's actually inside there.
Yeah,
down to the math. And you've made posts about like, hey, what am I doing today? I'm checking every single one of these to make sure they're between, you know, here's my tolerance level of what I can accept to go in there. And all of that is just it is the guarantee. You know, the gold sticker guarantee on what you're getting, because most people don't do that.
It is a ton of extra work. And again, this comes back on, it's the things that I can control. And I also just found that interesting. Like I always thought, like I didn't know much about these old pedals, but when I would see all the parts inside of them, they kind of look like little candies, and the different colors just look so cool together. And then, you know, you contrast it with the like brown Vero board and the black transistor. Like there's just all this really interesting stuff going on in there. And I didn't know what it was when I was looking at it before I started making things. So when I started making them, I thought, well, I'm just going to write down every part that I used, because in the beginning, I didn't have any name recognition or brand identity, things like that you know, people hold value to. And that's a big ask to, you know, for somebody to buy an unknown brand. So I felt like the one way I could like ease people's fears of investing, you know, even because I was charging $100 at the time, I think for my first couple, like my first 150
I'll take
pedals,
$5.
I was selling for $100. So I would write down every part that I used just so you could, you know, see, oh, that he used that there. I see. Okay. That's a good part. I've seen that in those originals, or I've seen that in these before. So I just carried that on, and I still do it to this day. I get my hand cramps up almost every day trying to write down all these values and writing down every single part that goes in there. But at this point, you know, I've done it so many times. That's just how I do things. But yeah, it is a lot of extra work, but I think people do appreciate that, because even if they don't know, it's still fun to see. It's still fun to see all that, and somebody taking the time and care to explain that to them, because at this point they are expensive pedals, and I think that helps people feel good about, you know, investing in an expensive pedal. They get to see everything that went into it and how much I care about, you know, making it good, and not just, you know, grabbing their money and you know, sending them some piece of crap.
I think it's one of the things that as far as gear goes, it's very easy for us to talk about, like, oh, that's a cool guitar. What's tell me about it. Oh, well, it's got, you know, you can go through the measurements, you can go through the woods, you can go through the kind of pickups, you can go through what kind of hardware you got, the paint, all kinds of stuff. And when you get a pedal, you're like, this is a cool pedal. And if you're lucky, it's like, oh, I have the signature of who built it. But when you're able to say, oh, but mine has these specifications and these components, there's a greater sense of ownership and connectedness to it that I think is kind of rare. You and Joe, I think, do such a good job of that. Where you open it up and it's just like, Joe, what the submarine is going on in here? You know?
I love it. His looks so great inside, because he uses all the big old parts and oversized caps. I love that stuff. I thought that's always been my thing for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's just it is an interesting thing, and it makes it feel really special, I think. When I remember when I opened up the amp top treble boost that we have, I was like, oh, it looks like a radial biplane engine in there, because like these things are, it's just like, and why? I don't know why that made me excited. I was like, whoa, look at this,
because it's cool.
Yeah, and then I've taken it apart to show other people, and check this out.
And not everybody does that.
And not everybody gets it either.
Well, that's true.
But that's okay.
No, and definitely not everybody gets it. And that's all right. It's not for everybody, and that's totally fine. Like, this level of, nerdiness is beyond unnecessary. It's just fun. It's fun for anybody who is into it. Does it change the way you play? Probably not. But if you're into that kind of stuff, it just makes it that much more fun to, like you said, you feel connected to it more when you feel educated on the thing that you have, sitting in your hand and you're about to play. It helps.
It's the closest thing that I think I'll ever get to, like, bespoke suit or handmade Italian shoes, maybe.
Right. Yes. It's very much down those lines.
I would never wear anyways, but to have them, yes.
Look at my Italian shoes.
Yes.
I have nowhere to take them except for my backyard, but it would be super cool.
These old things, I water the lawn in them. So you find great interest in things old. You brought up the Marshall Super Fuzz, and I'm curious, like, what has got you, aside from possibly that, what is tickling your toenails right now as far as things you are looking to endeavor on?
Oh, that is always a great question. I never really have a plan on where I'm going with this stuff. It's all kind of dependent on what I can find and what I'm able to piece together as far as parts go. So I'm always on the hunt for something new. If I, run across a stash of some, specific transistor or some specific diode, that usually is what leads me down to the next model that I'll be going into. Like, I still really want to do a Selmer buzz tone. I absolutely adore that circuit. I've had the chance to work on an original, and I will have a chance to work on another original from the same collector pretty soon. He just picked up another one that's missing some parts, so we're going to try to get that together and fix it for him. And I'm going to, again, take down all the measurements and do my best to clone it as legitimately as I can. But I'd also like to make a more affordable version of that as well, because I think it can be done. And those are they run off of 2 AA batteries. It's not a 9-volt. They don't sound good at 9 volts. They sound great at 3 volts. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun and kind of weird. Again, it's, to my customer base, it may be a little weird, to the general guitar playing public.
Like one of those little disc batteries that you put in the back of a camera?
I've got a little like a little clip that'll fit inside of like a JHS size enclosure that just holds 2 AA batteries, and you pop them in, and you have to like pull it out. It's weird, but I think it'll be kind of fun. So that's definitely something that's coming in the future.
So here's one last question for you. In the realm of everybody kind of, well, I don't know that everybody's downsizing. As soon as everybody's downsizing, then everybody goes, no, we're going to go really big. And they say, wait, now we're going to go really big. No, now we're downsizing again. But by and large, the smaller amp has taken greater footing, especially in homes and gigs and stuff.
Of course.
From your pedal line, I know that this is one of those things where it's like, hey, all fuzzes don't exactly sound great in things that break up really early. That's not a rule, but there's actually Marcus just posted something about that, I think yesterday.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So somebody who might be very interested in getting into the R2R family of products, what is something that you might recommend for a 12-inch combo type player who is just wanting to get something really special?
I make a point to tune everything I build on these little Bensons that break up at like 2. They're just, I'm not saying this in a derogative way, but they are the worst possible amps for all of the pedals that I make. They're just, they break up. They fold in over on themselves when you hit them with anything. They sound amazing, like the clean channel, but when you put a fuzz or like a big boost through them, they just fold over on themselves, and I do that very much on purpose. So if I can make it sound good on these little Bensons, they will sound like ungodly on an amp with any kind of headroom. That's a 12, a 20 watt with a 12 or bigger. They're just going to be absolutely nuts. So luckily, I take that into consideration because that is a thing for sure. A lot of fuzz pedals don't sound great into little amps like that, but I tune everything that I do very specifically with humbuckers into a small broken up amp that's just cranked. Because if I can get a fun tone out of that, then they're just going to sound ridiculously good on something that's any bigger than that. So luckily, I take that into account if anybody is looking for something like that. But that said, there are some that will do better than others. Like zonk machines are a very bright circuit, so they work pretty well into more like tweed style amps or amps that break up pretty quickly. Treble boosters, always great for that kind of thing. And then I also make another kind of germanium boost I call the preamp. It's based on an old Hofner unit. I made a modified version of that called the preamp Super Deluxe, and that kind of gets into treble booster range, but it also does the big fat germanium boost as well that the original preamps did. So I would say preamp Super Deluxe. My version of the zonk machine is called the Electric Machine or the Electric Machine Pro, which is like a GHS style, like pedal board friendly version of it. Still all the same parts, old parts, just in a little enclosure with an LED and a DC jack so you can put it on your pedal board. Or treble boosters. It's tough to, I have yet to find an amp that a treble booster doesn't benefit when you got it cranked up, like especially a dirty amp. So anything that breaks up, you throw a treble booster on it, you're going to have a ton of fun.
That was possibly the best response from like a completely non-setup question that I could have imagined.
I win.
I know. Honestly, I was like, "Oh wow, that was a home run right there. Fantastic." Because I didn't know that, like and I'm glad you
make them sound good on anything. Well, thanks, man.
Okay, well, we have exhausted your runtime right now.
All right, we always seem to do that.
No, we want to be respectful of your time and everything, and we have rounded third and are heading home. And Tony's got a little something for us right now.
Oh, that's right, Todd.
Would you rather?
You were saying?
I was saying at this point of the show is a little game we play called Would You Rather? And you, of course, pushed the button too soon. But, whatever. But that's okay. This week's Would You Rather is brought to us by our good friend Bob Crouch. Oh, he has sharpened his pencil and put to paper a very fine Would You Rather.
Yes, and apparently, because we kind of called him and a couple of other people out, Bruce, and we said, we haven't heard anything. And Bruce got on the bat phone and was like, Bob, I thought you said that we got it. So I love that that's happening out there. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So here we go with Bob's.
All right. So Bob's titled this one, To V or Not To V. So you're given the choice between two guitars. Guitar number one is a Flying V made the year you were born. It's in very good condition, but unfortunately, it has been stripped for all the pickups and its parts. You'll either have to buy brand new aftermarket parts or eBay your way through acquiring period correct parts to get it working. The V is free in its current condition, but you'll be spending some money to get it playing. Option 2, guitar number 2, is a brand new 2026 Gibson Explorer that's all set up and ready to go. You're getting a price that's comparable to what you'd spend on getting the V fixed up. Which would you rather? So you can get a husk of a Flying V from the year that you were born, which I can't because they weren't made in that year. Or you can get a brand new 2026
I think
Explorer.
Well, no, they were pre-war electrics.
Pre-war. You're so funny. No. There were no pre-war electrics.
Yes.
Idiot. What? Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. Okay, so you get a loaded brand new one.
Loaded brand new Explorer or a husk of a V.
A quote-unquote husk.
Yes. Yeah, we'll call it a husk.
A husk.
And basically comparable in what you would have to spend to fix up the husk.
Okay.
Or have a brand spanking new Gibson that's ready to roll.
Okay. Tanya.
I think I'm going to go. Normally, I do like piecing bits and things together. Aside from the fact that these weren't made in the year that I was born, I have a soft spot in my heart for Explorers. They're, to me, one of the most comfortable guitars to play. I mean, my arm just sits right in the right spot.
Coolest looking things.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. I mean, a V is fun, but I've never been totally happy with how, they're a little unbalanced and different things like that. But yeah, I'm going for the Explorer, brand spanking new, ready to roll. That's what I'm taking.
Okay, all right. Chris,
man, I was born in a not a great year for guitars. It was the confluence of a lot of terrible things happening in 1980. A couple of years later, I'd 100% taken the V if there was the Heritage Series was out and they did those second run of Carinas. But
yep.
I think the only things available in 1980 would be the V, which was yikes, or the V2, which double yikes.
Oh, come on. You got the boomerang pickups on a V2, though. Yeah, come on.
That's something. That is not my jam. I'm sure it is some people's jam, and I'm sorry if it is. I'm not trying to insult you, but it's not my jam. And I love a good Flying V, but not from my year. So I'm going to have to go Explorer.
All right.
Good choice. Good choice. Well, I have recently put together somewhat of a semi-parts caster Explorer.
Yes.
So I'm covered there. And when I had a very big birthday recently, one of the things I was trying to do was trying to find my birth year guitar, and unlucky in that. So I would be going with the birth year Flying V for this one for sure.
Are you going to get the medallion edition?
Sure. Yes. I mean,
there you go.
Who doesn't love a good medallion?
No?
I mean, it's perfect if you put it on a gold chain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super cool.
What kind of pickups would you put in this guitar?
Ooh. Well, I think I would probably go for the Black Cat Double Creams.
Ooh, Black
Nice.
Cat Double Creams.
It's a good choice.
Nice.
Yes. I don't know how we pixelate the word double cream right now. Yeah.
Double off-white.
Yeah, double off-white.
Yeah.
Double ivory. Yeah, why not? Right?
Well, would you like to know what Bob?
With a black guitar with a black guard and the double and the double off-whites. Oof.
Yeah.
I thought you.
There you go.
What about the gold sparkle?
No, not on this.
Oh.
I already have that at home.
Yeah, I know. Would you
Anyways,
like to know what Bob wanted?
I would love to know what Bob picked.
All right. Bob
go.
says, I'd go with the V because I love the idea of reviving a guitar like that and having it from the year I was born. Aftermarket parts wouldn't bother me at all.
No, makes them more fun.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Sure. You can make it your own.
Thank you, Bob. That was a fun one.
Yes, sir.
Made us
I like that one.
put on our thinking caps for a little bit.
Yeah. We need to put on our thanking caps. Oh, see what I did right there?
Oh, my
Ooh.
God. He is the king of transitions.
I am, yes.
Oh,
okay,
man,
go
That
ahead.
was beautiful. That's right, Todd. At this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become an executive producer? Quite easy. Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a sponsor, a friend, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great stuff. And wow, I mean, this year, being our 10th year, we've got some great giveaways planned.
Some real goodies.
You guys are gonna be going, what?
I hope so. Don't oversell this, Tony.
Todd has so much stuff lined up.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen the cartoon where the jaw drops to the ground.
Yes.
Yes, that's
not
this
it
is
yet.
going to be similar
We're
to
working
that.
on it.
So anyhow, I'm told in addition to all that great stuff, there is one thing more. What would that be?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Yes, speed it up, Jared. You get to have your name read on the thing. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterle from Buzzer FX, John Sebastian, John Halverson. We have all the Johns. Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Sanchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Plutone, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Brazen, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, Ed Rossler, and Uday Ram.
Yes.
But wait, Todd, there's more.
Uh-huh.
There's a special group of executive producers. Do you know what we call them?
We call them the Grand Poobahs.
The Grand Poobahs. So, they're the creme de la creme, the top
Yeah.
of the heap, the A number ones. I almost forgot that part.
There you go.
And they wear a fez upon their head whilst listening to this podcast. It's the law. Hopefully they all are wearing it right now. So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs: Anthony Gemolero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, king of the Would You Rathers,
yes, sir.
Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wahoon Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and Kenny Howe.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Thank you all so very much. We cannot do this without you, and we depend on you, and we're grateful every time we get to do this to say thank you. So if you've considered, have been thinking about helping out with the show, we would love nothing more. So there.
You know what they say.
What?
Every time the Patreon bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Yes.
Sure.
I love that.
heard
It is
that.
a wonderful life, yes. We need to say a super humongous thank you to Chris for spending yet another round with us. Chris, it's so great to talk to you. We love what you're doing and glad that you're out there.
Thank you guys for having me. It's always so much fun coming on here. It's an honor to just get asked back 3 times now. I'm looking forward to number 4.
That's right.
Excellent. Now you're on the hook for it. So
So in a future February.
Yeah, we gotta wait. It's gotta be February.
yes. Where can you send people to get the things that you make?
So everything I do is via drops on Reverb. The best place or the best way to find out when that's going to happen again is getting on my mailing list. You can do that through my website. It's just right there on the front page, just a little form to fill out. name and email. I literally will only email you when there's a drop coming. I do not send spam blasts for anything else. It's literally just that. So it's R2Relectric.com. Sign up for the mailing list, and when you see an email, you'll have all the information in there on what's going to come.
Everything
Nice.
you need. Right on. Tony,
Yeah.
about yourself.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do, what pickups you're using, what material you want, what color you want, all the stuff. I'll make something special for you. As Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Yes. You can shoot me a direct message.
Ooh.
Yes, on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you're really into playing right now. What's your latest favorite gear that you got?
What's your 4 on the floor?
What's your 4 on the floor? We love it when people send us that stuff. Connect with us. Doggone it. You're connecting with other people. Do it with us. So there.
Yes.
We hope you guys have a great week. Stay positive and have a fantastic guitar week. And subscribe.
Yep.
So let me know.
Well, so far they've all fit great. They're some of my favorite shirts, so I'm sure this one's going to be great too.
Okay.
I have mine custom tailored.
Excellent. As you
We have to
should.
sew 2 of them together. That's the thing.
That's
Great
Todd's
job,
middle
leading us
name,
right down the road.
Mr.
There you
Natural.
go.
Yes. Mr. Natural. I feel good about this now.
I wouldn't feel
Excellent.
so good about it.
Why? Alrighty. Well, without further ado, and away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.